Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Talos Principle 2. I actually don't remember what we were doing last week, so... Ah, yes. The, giant sea urchin. I don't know why, but that thing looks important. But it might not be. Let's find an information panel and see what we've got going on here. Okay, I have cleared both the bonus stages, but I have not cleared any of the regular ones, so we're going to go do regular ones. Inversion. Okay, we got an inverter. So we can take red, go blue. Now we need to get the other one first, so go blue, red. Well, that was easy. Look around here, make sure I don't see anything I need to send a beam to. No. Okay, on to 2. Also need to keep an eye out for my compatriots. What is this? Oh, is this the thing I need to follow?
When we go to New Jerusalem, I'm going to have a cat. He's going to be black and white, and his name is going to be Bean. And I'm going to make sure that he never gets sick, and he never gets old, and he'll be my best friend forever.
Okay, that is not what I expected to happen when I touched that. gives us the red. How do we get the blue? I only have one inverter. Issue is I can't take blue around this corner. Well, I mean, I can do that, but I can't get it over there. And sadly, this thing here cannot take it can't do that. Okay. Is it something crazy like this? I need to do that, that. I'm over here in like the corner. And I can do that. Okay. Yes, apparently that is what we do. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be reading these things out loud. Paris was an ancient city, sometimes called the City of Light, one of the great capitals of the world, home to tradition and innovation alike. It was the birthplace of one of the greatest revolutions in history, the moment that gave birth to modernity and in all of its glories and horrors alike. The spirit of freedom was born here, although it was suppressed by enemies and traitors. Never entirely faded, and it lived on in the minds of artists for many generations. Maybe something of that spirit still remains in us. Research tells me there's something over here I haven't seen. Ah. That. I did push the button, right? Okay. There's one of our compatriots.
I've been meaning to talk to you. This, vision you had, the data stream overload. How did it feel?
I can't explain it.
Just don't take this too lightly, okay? We're sturdier than our ancestors, but a mind is still a fragile thing. Go ahead. It's pretty clear to me that she doesn't want us to proceed with what we're doing. I find that deeply concerning. That said, there are clearly other forces at play here as well, so I'm trying my best to remain open to a more positive interpretation.
Be a test.
It could be. Or we've just stumbled into something that's none of our business. We'll find out, I guess.
It feels like a test to me because why would they have all these puzzles out here? They don't need them. At least I don't see how they would need them. We broke ground from Hypatia's Journal, Volume 1, The Founding of New Jerusalem. We broke ground on the first of the permanent structures today. A large hall that will eventually be converted into a performance and exhibition space. My idea. Although for now, we'll use it as a workshop. It's strange, this place. There's a lot of open space, and I didn't think that I would find it so unusual. But I suppose we all spent more time at the dam than was originally planned, and now it's difficult to get used to not having that low ceiling over our heads. Probably just me. Byron loves being outside, and is always volunteering for scavenging missions. Liftrosser usually tags along, although he seems more fascinated with observing nature and various weird creatures. At night, I sometimes catch myself standing by the door, not because I have guard duty, just watching the stars. It's oddly comforting to think they've always been there, that they watched our ancestors, standing now where I stand. From Miranda, 25358. Liftrosser's number. We finished setting up the external site at the lake. The area is so stunning. We forgot about the experiment for a while and went for a long walk. The ways in which all the different aspects of nature interact with each other are endlessly fascinating to me. And the sheer variety of living things, even on a simple green meadow. Sadly, we then stumbled onto the carcass of a deer that had been torn apart by wolves. It must have suffered enormously, and thinking about that made me feel truly terrible. There is so much pain in nature. Cutting down swaths of trees for the building projects, thoughtlessly causing radical changes to large environments, and forcing local species to adapt to their artificial habitats. These are the traits of a species of intelligent, industrious, and extremely impactful ecosystem engineers. Humans? No, I'm talking about beavers. For us, beavers transform their environment via building, and their actions have real consequences, creating vast wetlands and some species thrive in while others die. Human activity is very similar. We too are ecosystem engineers, and we too benefit some species while harming others. Everything about this is completely natural, including the damage to other species. After all, that's what competition and evolution is all about. Those species that adapt to the ecosystems we create will, over the coming millennium, become this core of new biodiversity, and so evolution runs its course. If we don't like the result, we think some species should have preserved despite being outcompeted, well, that's anything but natural. It is, however, very human. Fascinating how so much of what we do is common in animals, but furthered enormously by our intelligence and our ability to remember. Through us, the universe strives to a greater level of complexity. But does the universe have the capacity to strive for anything? We must be careful to avoid projecting human values onto the cosmos. Okay, we've got green in here. We'll be on the lookout for the Pandora statue, because those usually like green. Don't see it at the moment, though.
sent the drone to have a look at one of the other puzzle clusters. It seems they remain inert until they're connected. I uploaded the pictures to the log.
Should we check them out with the VTOL?
Let's conserve fuel as much as we can. There's no point in going there if it's all dead.
Is this the way? That's a sphinx. Sphinx works different. Actually looks like a maze or something. Something. Okay, so I think it's showing us water, and then there's... So we have the island that the statue is on, there. Then you have the water, and then there's this area behind it, where the X is. Of course, I don't know where the statue is right here. And I'm getting distracted from what I was doing, but that's okay. Which of my compatriots is this?
I can't stop thinking about Miranda. A new person not born in New Jerusalem? Can you imagine that? I wonder what it's like to be her.
Not that different.
How do you mean?
I barely spent any time in New Jerusalem, and I'm not that weird.
We'll see about that. They're very different from the rest of these structures in that they serve a clear purpose. Everything else is kind of surreal, but the labs are places where people lived and worked. I don't know what that means, but I think it means something.
Okay, there's the monorail where we came in. The statue should be over here. There's the statue. Okay, we have the statue. We have the sea urchin. So I think it's telling us we have to go over here. Don't see anything. I feel like it has to be over here somewhere. Could be over there on that rock face, but I think it's over here. I mean, I'm on the other side of the statue now, so I don't think it could be here. Huh. Now we have to make our way all the way over to the Sphinx's shrine.
The wheel turns. but without the road, it cannot move.
Refraction. A blue, so we need to find a red bean somewhere. That wasn't too bad. Imprisoned. Okay, that will light that thing up. But somehow get that red light. Care? I need that red light for anything. I could take the blue light with this and make red light. Gotta get to that somehow. Okay, that's what we need the red light for. Okay, I see. We're gonna take the red light, trigger that blue light. Like so. Then we're going to step outside, flip the switch. Should let that happen. Flip that switch. Take you. Blue. Blue. That wasn't as bad as it seemed to be at first. I walk in the garden without fear, as stars swirl across the sky, and I stand amongst the tall lilies, who lift their faces to the passing eon. Here I will do no harm, and no harm will come to me, for at last my long journey is over, and I am at home. Beautiful, makes me feel calm and happy. This is my favorite of yours, I think. Although maybe step by step towards the nightingales might still win out. Let's say it's a tie. The words are definitely beautiful, but to me it seems like a poem about death. I don't think the journey is over. Maybe it will never be over. That's my greatest dream. That all this is just a momentary stop, a place where we will rest for a little while before going on new adventures. I actually got Byron involved in this one. Interesting. I always thought of humanity's journey as long and exhausting. Search for a home. Homes are important, but we are wanderers, Imesh. We need new horizons, and the more we travel, the more we perceive our homes with new eyes. And find more to love. Wow, a response from Byron himself. Thanks for your thoughts, everyone. I really appreciate it. Icy. No green in that one. On the 6. There's 6. That's Pandora's Shrine there, right? With a green. Okay, see the green. So 6 might be the place where we get the green we need. Assuming it even has green yet. Hidden. Okay. I'm not sure how to progress from here. Maybe we need to see if we can get this red first. Ah, yes, that is what we do. Now, this up and move this. Here. Charge that. Keeps this gate open now. Actually, probably means I need to move this back. Whoops. Okay. There is no green in this one, though, so. Backward propagation. this one over here is going to be picking up reds. It's going to be outputting blue. This one here will be taking blue and outputting red. I can stand on this. I don't know what that does though. Can I pick this up? Get to a point where I can see this. Not a chance. Boop. It's now outputting red. Maybe I can go over here. And we win. But also no green.
Did you
here.
see how 1K solved that one?
No, sorry.
Oh, it was really clever.
Okay. Oh, we have another Miranda hologram.
There's so much to discover on this island that sometimes it overwhelms me. Every lake, every forest contains an incredible, interconnected, permanently changing network of organisms. And every one of those organisms is almost infinitely complex and contains other organisms within itself. It seems impossible to ever really grasp, but then, step by step, I do understand. It takes time and effort, but it's not impossible. And there's a lot of joy to be found in simply taking the time to truly study something. I spent 5 years studying a single flower, and it never got boring.
Where is this taking me? Into this pylon way out here. And it bounces over that way. I'm guessing this is how we get the green beam over to the Pandora Shrine. Nope. Lead on to 3. I want to say 4 was the one where that had green, but... Nope, it's this one. Reaching it, or is it hitting something? Okay, it is reaching.
Yes? New Alexandria. What a mess. It was an attempt to start a new city, but it went about as sideways as it goes. Gas explosion, more than 30 dead, unrecoverable. Al was there for the whole thing. Because the whole place was abandoned. Byron insisted that we had to rebuild, but for the survivors, it was just too traumatic to deal with. So I guess that stuff was just lying around for someone to pick up.
Alright, we need to find somewhere that can see both the front of the Pandora and that. I feel like it's gonna have to be this one. I lost track of it. Okay, it's over there. that door is over there. What's up?
False idols are worshipped not because they are idols, but because they are false. True idols are rejected because the truth is feared.
Yeah, let's see if we can find number 8. Number 8. Positional interchange. Can't take any of this stuff out of here. Aha. Oh, I bet I know what to do. Keep that there. No. There. And then you. Pick blue. Red. I think I might have some beams crossing here. So. Don't need this at all to keep this thing powered. Red, 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 blue. This one. What does this even need to? Does this even need to hit? Oh. I see now. This one. Take red off that one. Interrupt beam. Continue to interrupt beam. Okay, that gives us a red up in the sky. Which is actually going to emit blue. Still can't access the gold puzzles. We don't still have any more questions. Yes. Did we have 3 shrines here? No, it's just still marking Pandora's. Yeah, we got both stars. There's the gold. We need 6 more. I'm still not sure if it's the shrines or if it's the doing extra puzzles in each realm. I don't know. we going to find Prometheus in this one?
When the craftsman Daedalus was imprisoned in the very labyrinth he had created, his only solace was his son, Icarus. To escape their plight, he fashioned wings of feathers and wax. He warned his son to fly neither too high nor too low, but his son, enraptured by the freedom of flight, flew too close to the sun. Thus the wax in his wings melted, and he fell to his death. What was the sun's error? Yet many great feats came of rebellion and disobedience. You yourself are born of that lineage. After the death of his son, Daedalus withdrew in sorrow to a foreign land. King Minos came looking for the craftsman to exact his revenge. The answer to a riddle revealed where Daedalus dwelled, but for Minos, that answer was his ruin. Consider King Minos, burned in his bath, as you seek your own answer.
Okay.
The megastructure. It's opening.
3 receivers, 3 towers, 3 beams, as we suspected. I think this is an invitation.
Doesn't look that inviting to me.
If you consider the size of the entire structure, then that opening must be big enough to drive a building through.
Or the VTOL.
You want us to go in there, into the creepy triangular maw of death?
Maw of death? I think it looks charming.
Byron's right. We're here to explore, and this is a mystery worth investigating. This technology could change everything.
Oh, all right. I'm not winning this, am I?
Nope. Let's meet up with the VTOL, everybody. We're going in.
I finished my analysis of the particle clouds. At first I thought they might be some kind of nanotechnology, but I was wrong. It's a lot worse than that. What we're looking at is a completely unknown type and state of matter. Completely inexplicable within our understanding of physics. Created and manipulated by someone.
Fascinating. Come on, people, get on board. We haven't got all day. Yakut, take us in.
Aye, aye, sir.
Have any of you ever read an ancient writer called Ian Banks? I guess not. He postulated the concept of the outside context problem. That's when a society encounters something so advanced, so different, that they simply could not have conceived of it. That's what this is. This whole place is one giant outside context problem, and we're headed right into it.
I think I can set down over there. Should I?
Please do. I can't wait to get a closer look.
Setting down.
Okay, everyone. We need to explore as much as we can, separately if need be, but stay in touch. Record anything interesting you find, and pay special attention to any clues as to who built this place and why.
The schematics we found in that lab were extremely incomplete. So if you can find any more of those, that would be great.
I think someone should stay at the VTOL just in case.
I volunteer you. See you later, Al.
It's dark in here. I'm starting to get the idea that they made the comment on multiple occasions that Elohim's experiment lasted longer than they thought. What if it didn't? What if he did make synthetic life and then continued the process and a robotic society developed out here and also collapsed? Oh, this is quite a room.
This thing seems to be broken.
Yeah, I'm not stepping in that yet.
Isn't this an incredible space? Look at it all, it's beautiful. That's good, that's excellent. I find that a lot of people these days can't see the beauty in things created by human hand. They can look at an ant colony or a coral reef and be impressed, but if it was made by humans, they just don't see it. It's good to be humble as an individual, but we have to be careful not to lose track of our accomplishments as a species. If we're impressed by the complex patterns produced by animals, then this should be breathtaking.
Okay, jumping off that was bad. Understood. This door is going to open.
Hold on a second, 1K. I think I can find an override for that door.
Maybe after that, you can help me with this elevator?
One problem at a time. What's going on with these file structures? Okay, door should be opening. Now, about the elevator.
Actually, the elevator's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No idea where I am, but it's working.
Don't go too far. Try to circle back.
On it.
What I propose then, skip the first line. No. What I propose then is that we are not born as entirely free agents, responsible only for ourselves. The very core of what we are, our sentience, separates us from and elevates us above the animal kingdom. As I have argued, this is not a matter of arrogance, but of responsibility. However, this blessing also demands something else from us, something more personal than responsibility, and that is loyalty. Our ancestors, less atomized than we are, experienced a crude version of this loyalty, swearing allegiance to tribes, races, nations, and other semi-fictional concepts. This fragmented understanding was easily exploited and led to many conflicts. We can condemn them for that, or we can choose to believe these were necessary historical steps toward our growth. But above all, we must stop indulging in such childlike behavior. Our species can no longer afford to believe in Mother Russia or Uncle Sam. Neither, however, can we afford to indulge in adolescent rebels' misanthropy, rejecting the many gifts we have been lucky enough to receive, not from above, but from the history of our species. To put it simply, each of us owes a burden of loyalty to humanity itself, to the human project across time and space. This is not a minor matter, or some abstract issue for philosophers. It is a profound and significant part of every human life. It is a universal source of meaning and insight that can bind us together and set us on a path for a brighter future. It is also a division, a line that must be held against those who preach the gospel of self-annihilation. We ignore it at our own peril. Chernyavsky, like Drennan, stood by his belief to the bitter end. Without him, the archive would not exist, and we owe humanity our loyalty. So we owe a more personal debt to those individuals who gave everything for our story to continue. Alright, now we go through the door. Alright, I have to try dropping onto this. Okay, I can drop onto it, but I'm not supposed to. Understood.
Hey, 1K, can we talk for a second? That whole thing with the elevator just gave me the creeps. When we first arrived here, I was really excited. It's such a huge place. The technology is so advanced. If we figure out what it all means, we could really change the future of New Jerusalem. The mayor says we have to avoid repeating the mistakes our ancestors made, to stay humble, to not reach too far. And that sounds very abstract, but I've seen the ancient cities. I've seen how much they built, how much they grew, how far they fell. So I've been thinking, what if all this sets us on the same path? What if this is too much power for anyone to control?
I don't think what went wrong with our ancestors was intellectual power.
Then what do you think it was? But that's exactly what the mayor thinks. Their obsession with growth damaged the planet, and that's what killed them.
Yeah, it's how would you do it?
You're right. Sometimes I just get too pessimistic. We do have choices to make. That was the whole point of the simulation. Thanks for talking to me, 1K. I know we're in the middle of something, but I kind of needed that.
No problem, Yakut. Well, that's a thing. Yakut's not about to get, destroyed right in front of me.
Looks like another set of puzzles. Same pattern, 1 gate, 3 receivers. Like some sort of fractal symmetry.
I keep getting locked out of parts of the system. I think I've tracked down some more schematics, though. Let's see. This might do something. Or not.
No name on this one. Oh, this place here, this is gonna be one big puzzle, isn't it? I get it. I get it. I gotta get a beam in here to unlock this stuff before I can open the doors. Okay, where are we trying to go? We gotta go this way.
Good job, 1K.
This is madness. Even the walls are bursting with power.
Okay, so over here. This one needs to take in blue for that. This one over here. Needs to take in blue for that one. Get that. This one can't. It doesn't need to enter through. But it also needs to be a blue beam. Now this one gets red. Okay.
Well done.
I'm going entirely in the wrong direction.
I wonder how far down this goes.
Does still need to be there.
The gate's open. 1K if you want to. Go ahead. I'll finish up scanning this.
I'm gonna complete the bridges. I didn't even notice that it had a way on both sides. The question. I was doing some reading while the last trial was running. I came across something I don't understand. There are a lot of references to ancient humans feeling that science is boring. To me, everything we're studying is mind-bendingly incredible. Whether it's quark-gluon deconfinement or neutrino anti-neutrino oscillations, or even something incredibly basic like the properties of light. I understand why our ancestors cared about art, why a beautifully crafted story or poem was moving to them, but how could they not see everything that surrounds us is just as incredible? Studying science is like studying the most incredible machine ever created, a machine designed to build worlds and tell stories. How could they not see that? I'm sure there's a good explanation, but I don't get it. Uh-oh, getting overloaded again.
Mother, what are you thinking about, Mother?
The Talos principle. You see, it has two applications. One is to the self. It means facing the truth even if it frightens us. Understanding that
Welcome
living
in,
beings
Raiders.
are machines and we
Howdy,
can't afford
Thunderfist.
to lie to ourselves. But that's just the beginning. The second application is to the world. This one seems easier at first. It's less difficult to understand that the universe is a machine, governed by laws.
So we and the universe are the same.
No, and that's the crucial part. We are conscious. Consciousness is rare, unlikely, but it's also the foundation of everything else. Without us, there can be no meaning. Without someone to perceive it, the beauty of the universe is pointless. But that shouldn't make us arrogant. No, in fact, it means
Howdy,
we carry
Thunderfist.
a
How you
tremendous
doing tonight?
responsibility. We are the light of the cosmos. And if we go out, there will be nothing but a cold, dark machine.
Game's going pretty well. Things are getting interesting.
Athena.
The founder was here?
She could still be here. What if this is why she left, to build all this? We have to look for her.
I'm reading some pretty big energy spikes. I think we better scramble.
But she could be right here, right behind the next door. I could turn around a corner and walk right into her.
If she's really here, she'll still be here when we come back. But right now, safety needs to come first. Let's
No
go,
problem,
Byron.
Thunder. Thank you for the raid.
Yeah.
Have a good night and hope you sleep well.
Damn you, but you're right. Heading back.
We have made it to Act 2.
Was that really the founder?
I think so.
It was her. For years, I've wondered what happened to her, why she left, where she went, why she didn't tell me.
If the answers are here, I promise you we'll find them. We just have to be careful. Follow protocol.
I still can't believe the founder built this place. Has she been here the whole time?
We don't know that she actually built it. All we know for sure is that she was here at some point.
Of course she built this. Who else would have the kind of vision necessary to accomplish something like this? The question is why? And why like this? Why recreate all these aspects of the simulation? What is she trying to tell us?
It does seem like it might be a test. I can't imagine any other explanation. But why is it so broken? Or does it just appear to be broken so that we have to learn how to fix it? I hate this.
Well, I know one thing for sure. Everyone in New Jerusalem is gonna go absolutely nuts.
See, can I get to this palm reader now? Excerpt F5358. How dull it is to pause, to make an end, to rust unburnished, not to shine in use, as though to breathe were life, life piled on life, were all too little, and of one to me. Little remains, but every hour is saved. From the eternal silence, something more, a bringer of new things, and vile it were. For some 3 suns is stored and hoard myself. And this gray spirit, yearning in desire, to follow knowledge like a sinking star, beyond the utmost bound of human thought.
All right, take us back to base camp, Yakut.
Yes, sir. I'm getting some new readings. Looks like 2 of the northern sites are lighting up.
I think that may have been me. I suspect the puzzles are somehow tied to the transport system. Like we're supposed to solve them in a particular order.
Oh wow, the reflecting beams from all over the place. Does the VTOL sound like it's struggling, or are we just landing? I guess we're just landing.
All right, everyone. Our main objective is getting back into the megastructure. 1K, I want you on puzzles. You seem to have a knack for them. But the rest of us can't neglect our secondary objectives of studying this island and understanding this technology.
Alright, we are traveling to North 1. It's still 8 puzzles in both, 2 lost, 1 gold, 1 lab, 2 stars.
You should be headed towards an island off the northern coast. The terrain's pretty rough, so be careful. Yes, it has several, actually.
How irritating.
What?
I'm gonna need to check the logs on that. I think a couple of lines might have gotten skipped. Icy. These all gonna be underground? Log. Alright, what new mechanics you got for me this time? Mind-body dualism. Oh.
What the?
Both 1Ks. The Founder Mega Thread. Please keep discussion of the alleged presence of the Founder at the site of the megastructure confined to this thread. I'm still in shock. I wasn't even sure the Founder was still alive. Of course she is. And now that we have reached completion day, she has sent us her sacred messengers. Could still be aliens pretending to be the Founder. It's not aliens. And if Prometheus and Pandora are her sacred messengers, why has one apparently chained the other? The day of her return is imminent. So now you agree that Byron was right to want an expedition? In fact, it was the Founder's will all along? And when you said it would be wrong to even consider going to the island, you were acting against the Founder? Your word games aren't going to help you when the Founder returns, Arena. It was wonderful to hear Athena's voice again, but with all the emotion inherent in this matter, we should be careful not to get swept away. We don't really understand anything yet. I can't help but wonder, Miranda is her daughter. Was Athena trying to start a new civilization? Did she abandon New Jerusalem? She's always a leader. Maybe she just wanted to experience something private. A valid point. We had enormous responsibilities from the very beginning. And while we were a family, she had too many burdens to ever have a private life of her own. I understand your point, but why leave Cornelius behind? That's none of our business. Fair enough. Probably gonna go back down.
Miranda is the Founder's daughter. It's still kind of blowing my mind. She came all the way out here, left everything she had behind, and created a new life. Why do you think she did that? Miranda is certainly amazing, at least from what she sounds like. I can imagine that it must feel very special to be her parent. On the other hand, we're not like ancient humans. We're not born as babies. Would you have preferred to have a family?
Guidance would have been nice.
Fair enough. You did get thrown in at the deep end. I'm not sure, to be honest. This is all so surreal. Walking around here is so peaceful, but it's also, I don't know. One moment I feel inspired, the next, kind of creeped out. Our ancestors relied heavily on fossil fuels for energy generation, which released a lot of carbon dioxide. This caused the atmosphere to trap more heat, which changed the planet's overall climate. The effect continued even after they were gone, and these low-lying areas were flooded. I've seen a lot of places like that. No, I never did. I would have loved to. Nope. You know, people throw around the word awesome a lot. I probably do it too, but I think what we saw in there is the proper meaning of the word.
Hey, let's go find puzzle number 2, because I'm not entirely sure how those platforms work. What is that? Oh, this probably leads to a shrine. Where did it go? I lost track of it. Did it return to the spot it was at? No, it did not. It might later. Or it might be sitting right there inside that puzzle.
How can I help you? Then at least we may be able to find out what happened in New Jerusalem, why she came here. But I don't think she left the island. I think she's still here, waiting for us to make the right choices. It would be nice if something good happened for once, wouldn't it? I think every single human being is completely unique, and every instance of consciousness is a miracle. The more of us there are, the more alive the universe is. And the more we all interact with each other, the more complex the life of the universe becomes. So I believe that people are a fundamental good. I don't believe we're all flawless, but I think every one of us matters precisely because nothing else does.
Tell me a joke.
Okay. How many robots does it take to change a light bulb? Replacing a light bulb is a waste of resources, and the founder would be outraged.
Yeah, that's terrible.
You know, Herman had the same reaction. Could be. Yes, of course. All technology has the potential to be misused, from fire and the wheel to whatever makes these particle clouds. But that doesn't mean it has to be. In the principle of it, no. It's not just that I believe humanity is fundamentally good, although I do. It's that I think sentience is the foundation of everything else. What's the point of stars and galaxies, of hills and forests, without someone to perceive them? But my faith that we can actually grow up, that we can break out of these loops and take control of our destiny, that's something I struggle with every single day. Herman? Honestly, I think he makes people feel safe. The world beyond our walls is frightening. Human history is full of failures and disasters. It's easy to look at that and recoil. Herman offers a vision of the future that feels contained, manageable. Precisely. Our curiosity, our creativity, our ability to grow, everything that made us who we are. To me, that's not worth it. Because they refused to grow up. They refused to take control of their lives. They let bureaucrats and financiers determine their destiny, and those people could not think beyond themselves, beyond the tiny, insignificant moment they were trapped in. Their technology could have saved them, but what really failed them was their imagination. Athena was always trying to understand the reality underneath what we perceive, the objective truth. That's why she was capable of leaving the simulation. And even after she was free, she never stopped trying to understand more. I suspect her research took her another step closer to understanding the truth. And such steps always challenge our conception of the universe. But that's the wonderful thing about science. We can adapt our views to the evidence. In the sense of an interventionist deity? No. I wouldn't rule out the possibility, but it's not something I personally believe. But I do think there is something genuinely sublime in this universe, and it's right in front of us. Consciousness. The fact that this sense of self is even possible, that an arrangement of matter can produce a self-aware mind? Think about it. It's a fundamental property of the universe, an unbreakable law that matter has the inherent capacity to become more than the sum of its parts. That is the definition of transcendence. She did, yes. Some people in New Jerusalem choose to live in family units, although usually that involves marriage or equivalent ceremonies, not having children. You could say that Athena was a kind of mother to us, and Cornelius a kind of father, but it's not quite the same.
I wonder what it was like when the ancients were still here. Their world seems so lively.
Not always in a good way. Interesting times are great to read about, but rarely great to experience.
That's true. But they left behind so much art and philosophy and religion, and so many strange stories. Is New Jerusalem like that?
It was, in the beginning.
Dear Founder, I never got to know you. People tell all these stories about you, and I don't know what to believe. Some people say to ask Cornelius. Others say Cornelius is too blinded by grief. Some say Byron stands for the truth. Others say he's a fanatic and a radical and we should all listen to the mayor. There doesn't seem to be a way of getting a straight answer. Why did you abandon us to this chaos? Why can't you just come back and sort it all out? If you're reading these messages, don't you care? Dear Founder, thank you for everything you did for us. I am grateful for the life that I have, which would not exist without you. I hope wherever you are now, you are at peace.
This looks like it has something to do with energy generation. Am I reading this right?
Oh, great and sacred Founder. What number is this guy? 943. Okay. I believe I have discovered the truth that our so-called leaders have hidden from us. This absurd and sacrilegious goal they have us working towards, this hubristic completion day foolishness, was never your true intent. Even this abomination of a city that calls itself New Jerusalem is a deception. Why would you want us to return to the sinful ways of our ancestors, strangling the living soil with steel and concrete? No, it was when you and the first companions lived humbly amongst the splendors of Gaia, having no need for all this wasteful ostentation inherited from our weak and decadent ancestors, that you showed us the true path. After all, Why would the progenitor have given us such hardy bodies if she had intended us to live in unearned luxury? From the very first, we were built to be free from pride and material excess. Your teachings have been obscured and perverted by ideologues, worst of all by that traitor Byron, who once was like a son to you, but you should know that there are still those of us who remember the truth and await the blessed day of your return, when surely justice will be meted out, and humanity will finally return to its intended path. Hallowed be your name. Belzerin, 943. We assembled on the vast green lawn outside the reactors, as the reactors began to slowly wind down. The workers were solemn. The activists who had fought against the decommissioning seemed crushed. There was supposed to be a speech, but the spokesman had lost her notes. Outside, the protesters cheered. My eyes were drawn to the discarded anti-shutdown banners, endlessly reciting the facts. The statistics on mortality and per trillion kilowatt hours, lowest of all energy sources. The lifespan of a reactor, 70 more years in our case. Minimal land footprint, almost zero emissions, no intermittency. It became a jumble of words, a litany, almost kind of a glossolalia. As far as the protesters outside were concerned, it might as well have been an alien tongue. One thing was clear to them, and that was enough. The technology inside this compound was deeply, inherently wrong. It was a sin. I could not help but think the moment on August 6, 1945, the sky erupted above Shima Hospital. My imagination could never fully encompass it. How do you imagine more than 70,000 people annihilated in an instant? An ancestor of mine was in that hospital. He went from being a doctor, a husband, a father, a pacifist stuck in a terrible war, to being a pile of bleached bones covered in rubble. All in a single second. Not by accident, but because of a choice someone made. Not because of a reactor, but because of a bomb. Just 2 days earlier, contradicting his campaign promises, the Prime Minister had suggested that the use of tactical nuclear weapons would be an acceptable risk if the conflict continued. Very few seemed to find them particularly shocking or outrageous. They were afraid of reactors, but not of bombs. The spokeswoman gave up on finding her notes. It was starting to rain, and people were walking away. She grabbed the microphone. By the time you regret this, it'll be too late. But honestly, I don't know if I care anymore. Maybe you have it coming. The spokeswoman sounds so bitter. The protesters didn't mean any harm. From their perspective, they were doing good. People always think they're doing good when they get collectively outraged. That doesn't make them. Collective action can change the world when it's deliberate and based in reason. But it can also become a mental trap or a societal pressure valve. As you continue your reading, there's a useful concept that I would like you to keep in mind. The thought-terminating cliché. This is the type of phrase, often a slogan or a saying, which sounds meaningful, but it is really intended to make you stop thinking. To pick an example from our history, someone in the simulation might say things like, "It's the will of Elohim," or it serves the process. And that would be that. Case closed. You know how many iterations never advanced further because they just stopped thinking at that point? Do note, however, that a thought-terminating cliché is not the same as a lie. It may very well contain elements of truth, but those elements are used to keep you from questioning a whole set of assumptions that come with it, which may be partially or totally false. This often takes the form of appealing to something you care about. We must protect X, where X is a nation, a philosophy, a public order, or even the planet itself. But while you may not agree with that element, all kinds of assumptions may be included about how to protect something, or who to protect it from, or what the end goal of protecting it is. If you stop there, just because you agree with the surface level statement, the results may be the opposite of everything you want. Those who chose to serve Elohim, and in so doing prevented him from achieving his true purpose.
What can I do for you, 1K? I sure did. Not as well as Byron, but she was still around when I was born. I remember she came and talked to me after New Alexandria, told me how sorry she was. I never blamed her for that. It wasn't her responsibility. A lot busier than it is now. My most defining memory is that it was extremely noisy, because something was always being built. Got annoying after a while. For some reason, we'd convinced ourselves that New Jerusalem wasn't enough, that we needed another city. We thought it would be easier the second time around. All it takes is a little bit of arrogance and a little bit of ignorance, and people die.
If we believe that life is inherently valuable, if we think that other species are worth preserving, and we recognize that most of the universe is barren, then it follows that we have a duty not only to defend life, but to spread it. If life is the most valuable thing in the universe, then perhaps, in a sense, the cosmos itself is depending on us to do this. Like birds carrying seeds to uninhabited islands. Maybe that's our role in the galactic ecology.
From the personal reminiscences of Mitku 166. There are some people whose true importance just don't notice at first. People who quietly hold things together without making a big deal of it. That's what Cornelius was. Always by Athena's side, he calmly and carefully helped us stay on track, reminding us of our shared humanity and the values that had brought us this far. I cannot imagine how painful it must have been when Athena left him behind, when he went on his so-called research expedition. Most people thought he went looking for her. To be honest, I thought he might never come back, and was surprised when he finally did. I still don't understand how she could leave him. They seemed to love each other so very deeply. After he returned, Cornelius was different. He founded the Museum of the Simulation, and very rarely left its premises. The archive scholars doted on him, but he walled himself off, becoming almost as much of a recluse as Eustathius. And only then did I slowly understand how much the city had lost. God appears and God is light, those poor souls who dwell in night. What does a human form display to those who dwell in realms of the day? Excerpted from Considerations by Eustathius, number 2. While it is hard from our vantage point to fully believe in any of the ancient religions, I must admit that I have come to believe in the existence of a prime mover. Not a designer as such, certainly not an interventionist god, but some force that set the universe itself into motion. I do not know if it is possible for us to ever truly understand this being, since it must by definition exist outside our understanding of reality. But I do believe that it exists. Does it look upon us with love? Are we entertainment, perhaps? Does it preserve some memory of us when we die? All of this I cannot answer. But I do not disbelieve those who honestly speak of having experienced some manner of brief communion with this entity. It is simply too common an experience in human history to easily discount. As the motion of the universe proceeds from the Big Bang, so whatever force animates us, whatever constitutes the true foundation of consciousness, proceeds from the prime mover. What do you think about this, Mother? I don't believe in any kind of prime mover, but I thought you should read it because Eustathius is an intelligent person, and he came to this conclusion after a great deal of thought. It's important to respectfully consider points of view we don't agree. From the Book of Annotated Internet Comments by Eustathius. Did I say anointed? Annotated. If modernity is so great, why is everyone so fundamentally disappointed with the world? Why do we sigh with pleasure at the sight of old houses, but feel nothing but depressed and alienated by skyscrapers? What do we learn from lush forests and wide plains, not narrow canyons between buildings? 5358F. We love all this technology so much. Why is our idea of happiness to get away from it? Could it be that progress is just a story we tell ourselves to justify why we allow ourselves to be dominated by inhumanity, and older forms of living have something to offer? It seems that many of us share this desire to immerse ourselves in nature. Though we are ourselves entirely technological beings, we enjoy and value the Earth's diverse and unpredictable biosphere. But does that mean that progress is just a narrative, as this ancient commenter suggests? Or does it mean that the technological progression and a love for the natural world are not in fact mutually exclusive? And yet, if this person was left on his own somewhere in the wilderness, he would feel nothing but terror. The appreciation of nature is rooted in the experience of civilization, safety. True, but he's still right. So much of what our ancestors created in their last years was alienating to the majority of people. Then the question isn't one of modernity, but of control. Something's over here. One of the separate ones. But I feel like my brain is turning into mush, so I think I'm done puzzling for the night. I'm just looking around for secrets and lore and people to talk to. Oh, we're back where we started. talked to Yakut, we talked to Byron, we talked to Alcatraz. See if we can get back inside. Oh, we are back inside. Puzzles 2 and 3 are in here. Fall's gonna hurt. It, however, did not kill me, and I kind of expected it to. Also, I haven't found any shrines yet. That looks like a shrine. It's like a Prometheus shrine. And there's the other one. I want to say in each area we have had a Pandora shrine. First zone was Pandora and Prometheus. Then Pandora and the Sphinx, and Pandora and the Sphinx. Sphinx. Okay. Spells cat. Yeah, I believe we are at where the A is. There are two structures there. Although we might be back here somewhere. Of course, we may also need to push the buttons in order, so. Let's see if this goes anywhere important or interesting. I mean, there's still a path here. Found a Prometheus spark. Okay. I don't know what that does. Found one. I think that's 4, that's 5. C's got to be over there. Other disconnected puzzle. It actually doesn't feel all that disconnected. It's pretty close to 8. Alright, we're gonna step into puzzle 2 and just see what it's about. Leg up. Okay, this is probably actually exactly what I need. Yeah, this will probably teach me how to use platforms. But that will be a matter for next week, guys. and I will be back on Thursday with more Final Fantasy X-2. Until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time, and have a good night.